Many people over 40 believe that waking up exhausted, struggling with stubborn belly fat, or dealing with racing thoughts at night are simply unavoidable side effects of aging. They often blame their mattress or their age. They invest in expensive sleep supplements while completely overlooking the chemical switch in their brain that is stuck in the on position. Have you ever wondered why your body feels wired even though you are physically completely exhausted? Cortisol often gets a bad rap, but it is not inherently harmful. It serves as your built-in alarm clock. In a healthy body, cortisol levels peak in the morning to get you out of bed, make you alert, and provide energy for the day. Then, much like a setting sun, it is supposed to slowly decline throughout the afternoon and reach its lowest point at night. As cortisol drops, your sleep hormone, melatonin, takes over. However, modern life has completely reversed this natural rhythm. When your cortisol remains high at night, your brain literally perceives an emergency. Think of cortisol as your body's fire alarm. It is highly effective when you need to escape danger, but it is completely destructive when you are trying to rest. If a fire alarm is blaring in your house, you are not going to fall into a deep, restful sleep. The good news is that you can physically flip this switch back. You do not have to be a victim of racing thoughts or exhausted mornings. By changing a few specific factors before bedtime, you can quickly and manually lower your cortisol. Let's explore the 3 science-backed evening habits that will calm your cortisol, completely transform your sleep, and help your body repair itself. The first habit is fixing the light trap. Right behind your eyes, deep inside your brain, is a tiny cluster of cells. You can think of this as your body's master clock. This clock only understands one language: light. Throughout human history, our environment grew dark when the sun went down. This darkness signaled the master clock to lower cortisol and release melatonin. Today, we bombard our eyes with artificial blue light from TVs, smartphones, and bright LED living room lamps right up until the moment our head hits the pillow. Your conscious mind knows it is 10:30 p.m., but your master clock thinks it is high noon. Clinical researchers conducted a fascinating study comparing 2 groups of people before bedtime. One group read on a light-emitting tablet for a few hours before bed, while the other group read a printed paper book in dim light. The results were staggering. The group looking at the screen experienced a massive delay in their melatonin production. More importantly, their cortisol levels remained artificially elevated, and their circadian rhythm physically shifted. They were actively suppressing their body's ability to wind down. When you look at bright screens at night, you are essentially staring into the midday sun and asking your brain to go to sleep. It simply does not work. To fix this, you need to create a digital sunset. Start strictly controlling your light environment 2 hours before your planned bedtime. Turn off the overhead lights in your house and switch to warm, dim lamps. If you absolutely must look at a screen, use blue light blocking glasses or set the screen to a warm amber tone. By simply dimming your environment, you send a strong biological safety signal to your brain. The master clock registers the darkness, the emergency alarm shuts off, and cortisol drops naturally. The second habit for calming cortisol is stopping the nighttime blood sugar roller coaster. A massive trigger for high nighttime cortisol is what you put into your stomach in the hours before bed. If you eat a heavy meal, or, even worse, if you snack on carbs and starchy foods late at night, your blood sugar spikes. To lower this blood sugar, your pancreas releases insulin. However, since you are going to sleep and not burning energy, this insulin often causes your blood sugar to drop rapidly in the middle of the night. Have you ever suddenly woken up at 3 a.m. with a racing heart for no apparent reason? Here is what happens in your body when your blood sugar drops while you sleep. Your brain perceives this as a life-threatening emergency. If blood sugar drops too low, you die. So, to save your life, your adrenal glands release a massive surge of cortisol and adrenaline to force your liver to release stored glucose back into your blood. This is exactly why you might wake up wide awake and feel a strange sense of anxiety. It is not a random sleep disturbance, it is a chemical rescue mission. Your body deployed a stress hormone to save you from a blood sugar crash. Clinical studies on late eating confirm this. Researchers have observed that individuals who consume calories late in the evening show a significantly flatter cortisol curve. Their cortisol remains elevated at night and is sluggish the next morning. Your body is forced to focus its energy on intense digestion and blood sugar management instead of cellular repair and deep sleep. Think of eating right before bed, like throwing heavy logs onto a fire right when you are trying to put it out. The engine is still running at full speed. To calm your cortisol, you need to establish a strict fasting window before bed. Stop consuming calories at least 3 hours before bedtime. Drink only water or herbal tea. When you go to bed with an empty, settled stomach, your blood sugar remains incredibly stable throughout the night. There are no spikes, no crashes, and no emergency cortisol releases. Your digestive system rests, and your nervous system shifts deeply into repair mode. The third habit is mastering the mental off-ramp. Your nervous system has two main gears. The sympathetic gear is the gas pedal. This is your fight-or-flight stress response, fueled by cortisol. The parasympathetic gear is the brake pedal. This is your rest and digest state. When you lie in bed thinking about a stressful email, replaying an argument, or worrying about tomorrow's tasks, you are slamming your foot on the gas pedal. Psychological stress triggers the exact same cortisol release as physical danger. Your brain cannot distinguish between a real physical threat and an imaginary stressor you are merely thinking about. Psychologists refer to unfinished tasks as open loops. When a task is incomplete, your brain actively holds onto it, keeping your cognitive engine revving in idle. You are demanding high alertness from your brain, which requires a lot of cortisol. A brilliant clinical study conducted at Baylor University examined the effects of writing before bed. One group of participants took 5 minutes to write down a detailed to-do list for the upcoming days, while another group jotted down tasks they had already completed. The researchers found that the group writing the future to-do list fell asleep significantly faster. In fact, the time saved in falling asleep was comparable to the effects of clinical sleep medications. Why did this work so well? Because of the physical act of writing. When you take the racing thoughts, worries, and tomorrow's obligations out of your head and put them onto a physical piece of paper, you close the open loops. You are biologically signaling to your brain, "We have captured this. We no longer need to hold on to this information." Do not type this into your phone, as the screen light will trigger the light trap we just discussed. Grab a real pen and a piece of paper and place it next to your bed. Before you lie down, do a complete brain dump. Write down tomorrow's tasks and the problems you are trying to solve. Get it completely out of your head. Once it is on paper, your brain gives itself permission to let go. The gas pedal is released, the brake pedal engages, and cortisol drops. When you apply these 3 habits, creating a digital sunset, stopping eating 3 hours before bed, and putting your thoughts on paper, you will physically change your brain chemistry. You will turn off the internal alarm system. When you calm your cortisol, everything changes. You will fall asleep faster, sleep through the night, and your body will finally be able to tap into its fat stores for energy while you rest. You will actually feel refreshed when you wake up, with clear focus, ready to tackle the day with consistent energy, instead of relying on gallons of coffee. I want you to try these 3 habits tonight. Give your body a few days to adjust to this new rhythm, and watch how dramatically your sleep and energy transform. I would love to hear how this works for you. Come back to this video in a week and leave a comment below about how your sleep has changed. Your results could be exactly the motivation someone else needs to take control of their health. If this information has changed the way you view your evening routine and your health, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. We are uncovering the biological truths that have been overlooked for far too long. Start reclaiming your rest today. The next breakthrough on your wellness journey is just around the corner.